What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and the overall market. I'm also going to talk about some very important levels to watch for in the charts thus far, as we're seeing the broader market attempting to rebound, but Tesla's still looking relatively weak. I'm also going to break down some very important things that are coming up that are going to cause some big moves for Tesla. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20. And deposit $2,000 more, and you're guaranteed 40. Anyways, for the market right now, we are seeing SPY attempting to rebound, but Tesla's still looking very, very weak compared to the market. That's no surprise considering all the bad news that's coming out involving some lawsuits. I went over this in my video yesterday and also my morning video about how Tesla's getting sued alongside Elon Musk and Warner Bros. Over some potential copyright infringement. So that's very important. That's part of why Tesla's seeing some negative reactions. Also, with yields going up, right? This led to some more fears of the Fed not being as dovish, not giving us as many cuts as what we initially expected. So the fears what drove the market down a bit, and this also affected Tesla, as Tesla is very sensitive to interest rates. So that's why Tesla kind of dipped a bit. Ever since we got this Richmond Fed manufacturing data, the market did rebound a bit. So I did mention that this was a strong possibility in my earlier video. But from the rest of the day, there's not really much coming out. So Tesla's going to likely remain in this very important zone between 215 and 220. And it's possible it dips closer to the low 215s. Those just be very mindful of that. There is still more downside potential for Tesla stock, but I'm not too worried about this quite yet because the main move is going to be after earnings. If earnings go really well for Tesla and they absolutely kill it, this could still bounce and try to see a big rebound. If not, if earnings do not help the share price, this may just continue this trend down, taking us all the way down to the lower 200s, if not even below that's the next imbalance down here. So Tesla could go either way, but just know that right now we do look a little bit more bearish, at least technically speaking, and we could continue to dip close to the lower 215s. But there's going to be a very big move coming for Tesla once we get earnings tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be the big day for Tesla. So we're just waiting for that. Otherwise, we just remain a little bit more lackluster. As far as SPY goes, so this is the thing about SPY. I mentioned to everyone, we're looking at 580 as our support. If that failed us, we'd be looking for our 50 EMA, the yellow line right here. I also mentioned we had resistance at 582.28, our 20 EMA, the green line above. That's previous support, which is now resistance. You guys can see it right over there. So what happened to SPY? We dipped a bit because of yields going up, but we didn't necessarily hold at those levels. Let me just show you. We dipped a little bit. We saw this weak open for SPY, but then we have this gap up here to fill, and we're forming a nice accumulation right over here. This looks a little bit more bullish. It looks like it wants to start pushing higher to see a nice bounce, and this could actually push us all the way back up for that gap fill. So I do anticipate some upside for SPY. This could also help other stocks out there, like the broader market attempt to rebound. If we look at ES, we did dip quite a bit. Now we're getting bought back up. So we're looking at 58.80 as our resistance. If we get back above that, we're looking for an attempt to get closer to about the 5,900 area. So far, the bulls have a bigger edge. We're also holding this support right over here. So you guys can see that on ES is trying to hold its 50 EMA. Once again, break 58.80. We're looking for our 20 EMA, just under 58.87 is our next target, followed by 5,900. So far, there's more potential in this. For Bitcoin is range bound between 67,046 and 67,794. We're kind of stuck in the middle, so give this the time it needs. It's going to attempt to rebound for those higher levels, so we'll just have to see how things end up going. As far as NQ goes, we're actually holding support very nicely. As long as we don't lose 20,400, we are still looking more bullish. We're looking for a pushback up to 20,550. So far, I see potential in this. For the QQQ is looking a little bit more bullish as well. We dipped a bit. I mentioned we could get very close to about 491. We did touch the 491, so we didn't quite hit our 50 EMA. Before we saw some buyers defend it, right? Once the manufacturing numbers came out, the market started to push more. So this helped the market to some extent. So now we're trying to push back up towards these higher levels, towards 495. There's more potential upside for SPY from this point. And also the QQQ, excuse me. On top of this, you guys can see as long as Aapl doesn't lose the support at 233.9, we do favor an attempt to rebound. We did dip a bit, coming very close to filling this gap. Then we saw a nice reclaim of our 20 EMA, which could push this up for 236. So nice move by Aapl as buyers are once again back. For the IWM, we're also trying to rebound. We hit 220. Now we're trying to get back up to 222. So the buyers are present. For Coinbase, I mentioned everyone we're looking for a test of 207. If it bounced, we're looking for a rebound back up. If we lost, now we're looking for a dump. I did mention there was some weakness on the chart, and we're still in the red technically, but we did bounce off 207. So it could attempt to get back to 215 if we hold above 212. So I see potential in this. For Amazon, I mentioned it might dip a bit towards 186 in an attempt to rebound. That's close to what happened. So far, we're doing a good job. This could try to break past 190. If that breaks, this uptrend is going to remain. And then this imbalance would take us up to about 191.5. So I see potential in this. Meta dipped quite a bit, but we're attempting to rebound. So this aligns with my theory of this falling wedge on Meta. We're actually starting to break out of this. Break 578, and this thing's going to take off to 585. So we'll see if it breaks that resistance. So far, there's potential in Meta to go higher. Microsoft is breaking out thanks to some bullish news that came out. So far, so good. This is looking for 428 as our potential target. So it's doing a good job. Google's also trying to bounce, trying to break past 166 of this holds. We're looking for 168 as our next target. Also, the 4 hours looking quite good. So, like I said before, the bulls have a bigger edge right now in the markets as they're trying to push us back up. SPY has a gap to fill, so it might try to push. As far as Tesla goes, we're going to be stuck between 215 and 220. It's going to be very choppy. But I do want to note that I'm not too worried about that move. The bigger move is going to come once we get earnings. So, with that being said, we'll see what happens with earnings. I want to thank you all so much for listening. One more thing about Tesla is the fact that I know that earnings might not go too well for them. There's always that possibility. I'm hoping earnings are decent, but then guidance is going to be very important. So we'll see whatever Elon Musk has to say. But investors are going to be very meticulous, and they're going to be having some very high expectations as they typically do for Tesla. So we'll see how things go. I mean, it could go either way no matter what ends up happening, but just know that the risk is still to the downside because of how Tesla stock is looking. And also because of the fact that typically, especially during these environments where we're getting closer to a recession, there's still high interest rates and there could be a lot of fears about Tesla sales, especially because the robotaxi event did not really meet expectations. I would be very careful trying to play Tesla. So tomorrow is when we have earnings. It's going to be a very big day. I'll be back one more time today to give you guys another update for during the market open hours, and then I'll give you guys another update after that. So hopefully 2 more updates for the day. So I'll be back in a couple of hours, hopefully for one more. And until then, I'll see you guys very soon. So I thank you all so much for listening. Tesla is still going to go to the moon for the long term, despite the short term downside that we could be seeing. When you zoom out and look at the monthly on Tesla, we are still technically a lot higher than where we were, going back to like 2021 in those levels. And this is once again a really nice buying opportunity. So I see this as an opportunity, not a curse, and we'll see how things end up going for Tesla. If we do get another dip, we could continue to soar. So we'll see. But with that being said, that's it for my video. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours, and peace out.